In order to acquire customers, you need a refined, effective sales program. And a sales program is based off of 4 pillars: methodology, process, a playbook, all housed in overall sales operations. So the first thing you need to do as a sales leader is you need to have clarity on your sales methodology. And your sales methodology has to align with your customers' buying patterns and create the least amount of friction in that process. There are 4 main methodologies. There is self-serve, in which people can go onto your website and buy themselves without you. There is inside sales, in which you have reps that take demand, take calls from your customer, and support them through the buying process. Then there is outside sales, in which you have subject matter experts and reps that are reaching out to customers and helping guide them through and informing them of the buying process. And then lastly, there are channel sales, in which you're selling through other third parties, such as a dealer network or partners. You need to find the methodology that will match your needs in your overall sales operations. And it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. You can have inside sales, outside sales, and channel sales, for instance. With your methodology determined, you need to support it with a sales process. And a sales process is a predetermined steps that you want to take your lead through that will convert them into a customer. Now, there are 4 requirements to defining your sales stages in this process. 1, you need to document what's required. What has to happen in each sales stage. 2, you need to make it inspectable, meaning there has to be something that can be triggered or measured so that you know that the sales stage is complete. 3rd, you need to make it buyer-centric. So a lot of sales processes are about what the company wants as opposed to what the buyer wants. For instance, when you might have a sales stage which is called discovery, for the buyer that is seeking information or learning about a solution. Make it buyer-centric. And lastly, it needs to be factual, meaning that if you're going to be able to inspect it, there has to be actions within the stage that are tied to progression of the sales process. So again, you want this to be buyer-centric, you want it to be inspectable, you want to have all the requirements that are needed in it, and it needs to be factual. Now that you have your methodology selected, your process defined, the next piece in your overall sales operations is having a playbook. Okay? And a playbook essentially is descriptions of the stages of what you're going to do as you move people through your sales process. So every stage needs a description as to what is the definition, what's happening in this stage. It needs entry criteria as to how do people get into this stage. For example, if one of your stages is seeking a solution, what needs to happen is that the buyer needs to do a motion, a factual motion that puts up their hand that can prove that they get in, like requesting a meeting. Once you have a description of what it is, you have entry criteria, you now need to have what's required to happen in that stage. And that's really get into the playbook where the reps have to go through this, that in the stage to make things happen and progress the deal. And the last piece is how do you get out of the stage and move it to the next stage, your exit criteria. If you put all this in a document in a playbook, it can even be housed within your CRM, so it's there for your reps as they're doing their day-to-day sales. You will have support for your process, which is supporting your methodology. With your methodology, with your process, with your sales playbook, you have the components for overall sales operations. You need to, as a sales leader, you need to wrap your arms around this and have metrics that matter that are going to drive behaviors to the plan that you're going to create forecasts and to hit the results that you want to hit. You need to do the work. Without having this stuff in place, you cannot have a predictable, reliable forecast. In fact, what you'll end up having is a hopecast. And I don't know about you, but I would rather have something I could rely upon and be predictable than merely hoping for the best. So define your methodology, define your process, support it with a playbook, and create your overall sales operations with platforms and metrics that matter to drive and reach your goals.